Out for the finals. Next up, though, I hope I'm right in saying it this time, should be heat number 3 for X30 Junior.
So back to the third group of heats. Of course, we had the fourth, the Honda Cadets, but this is the third race for the Junior X30. Drivers are in the waiting zone as the last of the cadets make their way back to the pits. We'll see them later on, of course, but coming back to the juniors now, let's have a look at how this grid lines up. Alex Johnston will be first from Benedict Davis, Macy Hitter third, Vinnie Lloyd-Chamberlain in fourth, Jude Fernihoe and Olivier Algieri in sixth place. Jaden Gregg, Rio Kamata, Sam Baker and Scott Smith rounding out the top 10 from Mackenzie Stevens and Christian Brooks. 13th will be Daniel Hackett, Milo Pilford, Thomas Mullett, Kyle Slee, Lucas Ellingham and Joshua Patterson in 18th place. Dane Tucker, Jerome Phillip, Benjamin Watts, Ellis Bourchier 22nd, Jolly Pettit 23rd and Finley Harrison in 24th position. Lorenzo Cordell lines up 25th from Charlie Field, Zaki Hussein, Kai Carrington, Kian Gamio and Remy Gilbert in 30th. And the final few positions made up of Reese Blakely, Hugo Gilbert, Sam Longley and Kyan Gohill 34th and back off the grid for this final heat race for the X30 Juniors. Drivers are still in the waiting zone, however, so there is a brief pause before this final heat race for this group gets underway. We're moving on to the finals a little later on this afternoon, but right on cue. Drivers making their way out, and notably here looking at the weather, 17 degrees. The winds have calmed down a bit now. It does feel a little bit warmer out there. We were out last week at the British Mini Bikes at Three Sisters, and we had Indian summer weather, you might say, lovely warm conditions, and today was a bit more autumnal. It still does have that hang of autumn in the air, but certainly compared to earlier when we were seeing drivers struggling almost with the setup of the cars and the tyres, especially on a very cold track, it does seem to have settled down quite nicely for the afternoon.
I don't like it, Chris. I was at Clay Pigeon the other day and it was dry there as well. I think I'm cashing in all of my non-rainy day tokens for the rest of the year here. But no, it is lovely to have the sun beating down on us here, albeit it's still quite blustery, it's still quite cold. It's definitely, it's felt autumnal this week. It can be sunny but not necessarily warm. As we get ready to begin this final heat for X30 Juniors. After this, there'll be one more heat for X30 Seniors, and then we will be into our finals for round number 5. I think we might be good for a start off camera here, not on the shot that we've got, but I can confirm that they are getting underway. There we go. Alex Johnston leads them away into oblivion for the first time.
Somebody just going onto the grass in oblivion, but shouldn't be anything too serious.
And Johnston has been able to retain that lead as they come up the hill for the first time. Looks to me like they've all got through cleanly, which is delightful to see. Yeah,
nice sensible first lap there through Christmas Corner, and they can start to take the gloves off at the end of the lap. But again, nice clean start here. Everyone's staying out of trouble. And now they've just established position, can start to race. And one driver grass track in there, but again, nothing too serious.
Yeah, Jude Fernihoe putting pressure on Benedict Davies to the looks of me in the middle of that. Let's call them as they come through to finish this first lap, though. It is going to be Alex Johnston who leads. He's had the best start he could wish for from pole. Macy Hitter in second. Jude Fernihoe was challenging Benedict Davies, has just got up to third place. Rito Kamata up in fifth. Christian Brooks, Milo Pilford, Sam Baker, Scott Smith and Lucas Ellingham round out your top 10, and that the last of those drivers, Ellingham, had an absolutely sterling first lap, up 8 places, but look who else has also been up 8 places on that first lap, a certain Lorenzo Cordell. They just have this ongoing thing today.
Definitely. Well,
they're matching each other move for move.
Lorenzo Cordell, of course, having the disadvantage in this race of a start further down the grid. They've got work to do, so making the most of that first lap. It was some good driving from everyone, really, to stay out of trouble on that first lap, including those guys towards the back who've got some real pressure to make their way through the field in what's, of course, a sprint race. Not much time to do it.
Christian Brooks now ahead of Benedict Davies, so there's definitely been a change around here from fourth downwards. Christian Brooks it is. Benedict Davies in fifth. Rito Kamata, Milo Pilford have changed there. And look at this. This is Jude Fernihoe having a go here at Macy Hitter, I believe, over second place, and has got the job done. So the 53 now ahead of the 33, and now Jude will set about trying to catch up to our lead driver in the form of Alex Johnston.
One thing, of course, always the same with television cameras anywhere at any track, it doesn't always give you an idea of how steep the gradient is in some of these hilly corners, like Christmas Corner. If you stand on Oblivion, that first corner you see on the TV screen, and look up, it is actually quite a steep hill.
It is. This is on this side as Christian Brooks puts a move in there on Macy Hitter now. This this circuit has, it's kind of on the side of a mild hill, really. So Christmas is very much at the top of that. There's this bit now that we're talking about where you climb up the hill, and the camera, absolutely right, Chris, does not really do justice to it. If that looks flat to you, it's not. And indeed, you're now downhill braking into Ashby, and that's a real change from the braking zone at Christmas. These are not too similar. One gravity is with you, the other gravity is very much against you, and it matters. It really makes a difference that you can feel in the car. It's
quite right, because Christmas corner going into the uphill braking zone, so as soon as you back off, effectively you've almost got the accelerator acting as a brake almost, because you've got the gravity working against you, like you say, other way around on the downhill.
Rito Kamata there with one of the best moves in Ozies I've seen all day on Benedict Davis. That was from a long way back and beautifully judged on the brakes. Absolutely perfect. Alex Johnston still leads, but is being reeled in by Jude Fernerhoff, and Christian Brooks is coming with him. In fact, is he coming with him, or is he wanting to get by him? He's wanting to get by him to the inside at Christmas, and through goes Christian Brooks.
Christian Brooks, he's on the move here, isn't he, Howard? I think he's set the fastest lap last time, man, 46.06. The pace of the race is starting to pick up. Alex Johnston, 48, your race leader, has done a great job of holding on to the lead. As you head towards the second half of the race, it's been a good, clean race so far. And Ferniehoff has lost out to Christian Brooks. Now there he's the 82 of Brooks in second position. And, well, it looks to me like Brooks, he's steadily picked his way through the field, now through to second place, and putting in some good steady laps. Definitely one to watch in the closing stages.
Yeah, absolutely. On to lap number 6 then. Alex Johnston. Well, he's setting a personal best, but it's not enough to deal with the race best of Christian Brooks, a 45.85, and he'll be beginning to get wise to the fact that the pack are closing in on him here. We've got this breakaway group of 3 of Johnston, Brooks and Fernerhoff. Macy Hitter still doing well to hold him fourth. Milo Pilford haven't mentioned much. Definitely his best heat of the day so far at present, but we need to keep eyes here because Christian Brooks is looking very racy to me.
Could be lining up for boot possibly. He's staying on the back here of the 48. Here we go into boot. Brooks might have a look, or will he hold on now and try and look a bit further ahead, look towards Christmas corner? He's got to get boot correct here. He's not going to go for the pass at the moment, but this could be important now. Let's have a look what Brooks does out of the final corner through the Oblivion first 2 corners, and yeah, he's right on the back wheels here. He might drift a little bit wide here. Go for the cutback. Oh, but look at that. 40. Well, Johnson's wise to him there. Shut the door on him, but no, he's not giving up.
Opened it again, though.
Yeah,
allowed it through. And through 2 is going to go Jude Fernerhoff side by side, and then by Inkermans, which is that little right-hand kink before the run to Ashby. Got it done, and there's yellow flags there because someone's gone well off there. Looks okay. Well, he's just getting checked over, actually, by one of the marshals. I think there's 2 carts down there.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, there's 2 drivers just out of shot here. Drivers appear to be okay, so I think it's typical getting it wrong on the braking for Ashby sort of incident where 2 drivers go off into the barriers.
Yep.
Oh, we've got a full course yellow, but yeah, they've all slowed down.
We are. So we just, whilst they're making sure, because obviously if the pack came around next time and had a major incident again in Ashby, they'd be hitting into some already stricken carts.
Yeah,
so it's right call there.
It's one of these things, Ashby, it's tight right-hander off cambered, so effectively the barriers are doing a job there. It's protection, really, if somebody gets it totally wrong, and with I think there are medics going to check the drivers. They don't want to have personnel on the track if somebody else gets it wrong.
Yep. We've seen a few of these today, full course yellows, perhaps more than we're used to seeing. I think it's worked well as a way of where it is appropriate to keep the race going whilst incidents are attended to. I think it's been a useful tool for the clerk of the course to have reached for. So
actually, listening to that, I was listening to the marshal briefing this morning, and one of the instructions given out to the marshals was obviously don't call a red flag. It's one of these things, of course, if it needs to be a red flag, there has to be one, but use a 5-second rule to check the drivers are okay, and then if it is more serious, perhaps ask for a stoppage then.
Yeah, to be clear, I mean, we've seen already today red flags used where it is appropriate. So it's they're definitely using them when they need to, but also just using that tool as an option where appropriate. A full course yellow just gives them the opportunity for, if it's not an immediate concern, maybe they're just checking over, nothing that stops them from going to an FCY, and then if it turns out to be more serious.
One of the 51 there was hitting trouble previously. I think it was one of the drivers possibly caught up in that incident on Ashby, Hugo Gilbert.
Yep. But nothing to stop them doing an FCY, and then if the incident does prove to be more of a concern. Oh, as we've got carts starting to litter the track here. That's kind of Go Hill. Well, maybe this is why the FCY is there. It's not just for the incident in Ashby. They've suddenly got a few carts, you know.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3
stranded.
hit in trouble there. So yeah, that's the 50 Go Hill.
There's the pack going by a go-kart at the side of the road now. They may need to make a call as to whether or not that is in a position that they deem to be a concern. And right they will be to do so if it ensures that we have safe racing when we get underway again. But what this is going to do is it's turning this into, well, if we get a green flag this time around, it's going to be a one-lap sprint. Yeah. And if we don't, it's going to be the victory confirmed for Christian Brooks. Important
to say here, of course, we are on a full course yellow, so it is a neutralised race, but they are still racing, of course, aren't they? It's, there is the possibility if they make a mistake and spin off on the full course yellow, it's still a race. So although it is neutralised at the moment, they can't battle.
How many years ago was it now that Montoya and Michael Schumacher collided in that tunnel at Monaco?
Yeah, that's it, of course. That's a very good example to use there, actually. You say the pace has dropped to over a minute now, so they really have backed off of here and dropping off the pace now. I think Brooks here is anticipating it going green for the final lap, possibly really backing them up through boots.
The path has been cleared behind them, so...
Yep, green flag. So Christian Brooks, a textbook rolling start there, trying to drop Vernihoff in second, Johnson third as they scream through oblivion for the final time. 1 lap dash to the finish, but Christian Brooks, as we saw in boot, really backing them up, and he got that one nailed.
Yep. Rito Kamato going defensive against Lucas Ellingham there, and it works for him. I think Kamato's done really well to hold position throughout this race. Jude Vernihoff under a lot of pressure from Alex Johnston as well over second place. Still Lucas Ellingham can't get by Rito Kamata, and is under pressure now from the 39 of Scott Smith as well. Sam Baker's managed to accrue a penalty, but it looks to me like Christian Brooks has just got to keep this one together.
Oh,
look at this, selling the dummy there from Alex Johnston, but it doesn't pay off unless he can tuck his nose under, and I don't think he can. He's got to be careful of Macy Hitter as well, but Christian Brooks will take the win in X30 Juniors heat number 3. Jude Vernihoff holds on for second, Alex Johnston for third, Macy Hitter, Milo Pilford, good drive to fifth, Lucas Ellingham in 6th place. Rita Kamata was not able to hold off Ellingham. It might have been Milo Pilfold who I was calling that for.
Pilford just about squeezed through there, didn't they, in 5th place, and Olivier Algieri with a good Algieri 238 with a good finish there in 8th position. As there we see the incident. I think it was